Hello everyone! In today's video, we're once again going to discuss some very interesting information about an upcoming SP character arriving in version 4.5, and this time, the spotlight is on Aventurine SP. As always, everything covered in this video comes from sources that are generally considered credible within the leak community. But before we get into the main discussion, running out of Stellar Jade and Honkai starrail? Don't worry, there's a more budget-friendly solution. Now you can top up in-game safely, quickly, and at a lower price through U7 Buy. And it's not just Honkai starrail, other games are available too, all in one place. Still not sure? No problem. You can check U7 Buy's reviews directly on Trustpilot, so it's transparent and trustworthy. For comparison, 80 oniric shards cost around $100 in the official store, but on U7 Buy, it's much cheaper. The process is also instant. Just select your server, enter your UID, and the balance is delivered straight to your account, no hassle. Don't forget to use code BOOM for a 5% discount. Click the link in my description or pinned comment to visit U7 Buy. Alright, let's jump right into today's topic. In the previous video, we took a comprehensive look at all of the changes introduced in Beta 4.4 v5, covering Himiko Nova, Rin Tasaka, and Gilgamesh. So, what do you think about their final beta performance? Are you satisfied with the way they turned out, or were you hoping for more adjustments? If you haven't watched that discussion yet, I highly recommend checking it out first. Today, however, we'll be shifting our focus to another exciting future character, Aventurine SP. Before we get into Aventurine SP's early kit, there's one interesting leak we should talk about first since it ties directly into the overall theme of version 4.5. This information comes from Samika Kasperskoy. According to their post, version 4.5 will take us to the IPC resort. This isn't really a huge surprise, though. Hoyoverse already mentioned during the version 4.0 special program that the 4.x storyline would be split into two parts, just like the 2.x cycle. The first half takes place in Plan Arcadia, while the second half moves to the IPC-owned planet, Astropolis. It looks like version 4.5 will be the starting point of that second half. What's even more exciting is Samika's next claim, that both Robin SP and Aventurine SP will be getting summer outfits. This matches what we talked about 3 days ago regarding their character models, based on leaks from Uncle Watermelon and Uncle Y. Since the setting is an IPC resort, which sounds like a vacation destination, the whole summer theme makes a lot of sense. And if this leak turns out to be true, then version 4.5 could become the very first summer-themed patch in Honkai starrail's history after 3 years of the game. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into the main topic, Aventurine SP's early kit. The source we'll be using today is Uncle Y, the same leaker we referenced about a week ago when discussing Robin SP's early kit. Let's begin with the first point. According to Uncle Y, Aventurine SP is a quantum elation character with two distinct playstyles, or what we could call a dual-mode character. In other words, Aventurine SP can be played in two different team archetypes. The first is an elation team alongside other elation characters. The second is a follow-up attack team, where Aventurine SP is the only elation character in the lineup. This dual-mode concept is actually quite interesting because it gives players much more flexibility when building teams. So even though Aventurine SP's kit appears to be designed around situations where he's the only elation character on the team, he can apparently still function inside a full elation composition as well. That being said, I personally think this is probably intended as an alternative option rather than his best team, since a full elation lineup seems to go against the direction suggested by his kit. Moving on to the second point. According to Uncle Y, Aventurine SP can indeed work in an elation team. However, that setup is expected to perform worse than either a mono-male composition or a follow-up attack team. In other words, just like we discussed in the first point, elation teams are simply a viable alternative, Not the optimal choice if you're trying to maximize Aventurine SP's full potential. Now let's move on to what I personally find to be the most interesting part of today's leak, his gameplay. According to Uncle Y, Aventurine SP specializes in launching a large number of small, rapid attacks. Those repeated hits are then converted into a massive burst of damage through his elation skill or ultimate. This description immediately makes his playstyle sound extremely interesting, especially when we consider how it might synergize with other characters. For Ashvale, Aventurine SP's rapid succession of attacks would likely generate energy much faster. Meanwhile, for M-Blade, every additional hit means more stacks toward triggering his extra skill, which in turn helps accelerate his ultimate as well. Overall, Aventurine SP's multi-hit mechanic seems designed to create incredibly strong synergy across the entire team before finally cashing in those interactions with a massive burst of damage from his skill or ultimate. Finally, let's talk about Uncle Y's last point, which focuses on Aventurine SP's vertical investment. According to Uncle Y, Aventurine SP shares several similarities with M-Blade when it comes to Eidolon progression. More specifically, he stated that Aventurine SP has an E0 elation ultimate and an E2 follow-up buff. He even went as far as saying that Aventurine SP's vertical investment is comparable to Blade's. If we put everything together, the overall picture of Aventurine SP is starting to become much clearer, even though we're still dealing with very early information. He appears to be designed primarily as the main DPS for either follow-up attack teams or the monomale compositions we've discussed in previous videos. His multi-hit gameplay seems to create exceptional synergy with characters like Ashvale and M-Blade before finishing with a powerful burst of damage. Meanwhile, full elation teams remain a playable option, but they don't appear to be his optimal setup. And from an investment standpoint, his Eidolons are shaping up to offer significant power increases, especially starting from E2. Of course, it's important to remember that all of this information comes from an early kit leak. Everything is still subject to change once the official beta begins. So what do you think about this early look at Aventurine SP? Does the idea of a dual-mode character make you interested in pulling for him when version 4.5 arrives? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. And with that, we've reached the end of today's discussion. Thank you all so much for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to share it with your fellow Honkai starrail players so they can stay up to date with the latest information as well. Your support through likes and subscriptions means a lot and helps this channel continue creating informative content in the future. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next discussion.